Now let's look at May Day, which is a day set aside to commemorate the International Workers' Day. Now, Nigerian workers under the aegis of the Nigeria Labour Congress and Trade Union Congress have called on the state governors to fully implement the 30,000 naira minimum wage approved by the federal government. The workers, who spoke on Saturday at several events held across the country to mark the International Workers' Day, said the new minimum wage was not only their right, but also non-negotiable. The labor union leaders noted that while some states had yet to implement the 30,000 naira minimum wage, a number of other governors who had implemented it failed to do so fully. Okay, so here we are, with workers still on this issue of minimum wage. The last May Day, we all read the papers, went on social media, and we also all the comments coming from workers as to the plight of the Nigerian workers in Nigeria today. Topmost on that list is this issue of minimum wage. Why are we still debating this 30,000 naira for Nigerian workers?
That is why I don't want to talk about the minimum wage. I think the workers' condition, working condition, goes beyond just minimum wage. I'll give you an example. My eldest sister retired from the Delta State Civil Service in the past 3 years. She has not been paid her emolument, her retirement package. So, which means that in the past 3 years, she's not earned an income, and so she doesn't have savings from her salary over the years. She will now be begging her siblings to survive. That's dehumanizing. So somebody has spent 35 years as a teacher. So because when we're reducing this thing to just the minimum wage, it is not. It goes
further than that.
It goes further than that. The workers must, because what's this 30,000 naira that we're talking about? At the best, they will just pay you backlog and all that, and you shout, hey, and that's it. Excuse me, the average worker doesn't have insurance. The average worker, they only just manage to do this health insurance thing, NIHS. The average worker, I'm using Delta State where I come from as an example. Where's the housing? Lagos State is not like other states. Lagos State has some of this housing thing in Ipaja and some other places and all that. But where's the housing? What are you going to retire to? You are earning maybe 100,000 naira a month and all that in this terrible economy, and you're not saving nothing. So when you finish your career, so where are you going to go to? Nothing. So government is, the workers are not looking at it from the perspective of a long term. They're looking at it from the short term, what they can get now from government, and that's it. So I think they should have a holistic approach to this, and not just talk about minimum wage, but the entire package for their welfare. There's a lot, and that's what I expect their unions to do. It's not a May Day.
So how feasible is that?
It is very feasible.
Looking at the entire package, when minimum wage is still, something we're still talking about, even after the president has assented to it, we're still talking about that. 30,000 they can't pay. How is it feasible that a total or a holistic package will be possible for the Nigerian workers?
Yeah, but that's where leadership comes in. The truth of the matter, I just talked about housing. Can your leadership, can your Nigerian union of, what's it called? Compel government to actually look into some of this. So, like I said, every year in, year out, May 1, you wear that t-shirt, solidarity and all that. And at the end of the day, you go home. So, how has that helped you? It hasn't. So, what I'm saying in response to your question is that we cannot say because they have not done, paid the minimum wage, we cannot now
push for the other ones.
You cannot, as I say, it's holistic. So, when you are looking at this one is long term now, implement this. So because the housing, like I keep talking about, in most serious places, in the UK that I'm even very familiar with, you have the average civil servant, average civil servant, your normal level 5, level 6, they get council flats. They can pay overtime. So even when you retire, one bedroom flat, you know, because they don't have many children, you know. So one bedroom flat, two bedroom flat, you pay overtime. Even the retirement, you still be paid, but it's your property though. So your retirement is secured. Most of the civil servants now, their retirement is not secure, and that is why they die 2 years after retirement. You don't get it.
Peter is speaking about retirement being secured. Is the job currently that they are doing, is it secured? See, patient, Peter has encapsulated all of these things into one thing that we need to understand. Every year, I simply do not, again, why should we even put today as a public holiday? Because Saturday was a May 1. For a country that is on its knee already, why do we do that? For a country that needs people to work, for the country to get out of recession and a bad situation that we are in. Every May 1st, they will sew cloth, because all these labor leaders, they know what comes to them because of those kind of events. They will sell clothes, they will sew, they will go and stand with governors, ministers, they will snap pictures, they will say solidarity. Every year since I get to know NLC in the days of, because I truly get to feel the impact of NLC in the labor union in the name of Franco Kori till Adam Oshomole and till today. This has always been the same thing, minimum wage. And when you look at Nigerian population, the people that are working for government across all the 3 tiers of government, they are not as many as the people that are not working for government. That is my concern. Every May 1st is not meant for people that work for government. It is meant for everyone who genuinely worked, who genuinely engage in transactional.
Who has a legal source of income.
Yes, that's why I say genuinely engage in a transaction one way or the other. You are, maybe you could do your own business, you could work for someone that outside the government. Every year, the labor union will go and stand and talk about minimum wage as if I have never worked for government. And because of the treatment my father got working for government, I promise not to work for government. You can never work. What is minimum wage? Okay, now somebody said 100,000 naira today has become 10,000 naira. Have you ever held 100,000 naira in your pocket and spend 1,000 naira out of it? Before you get home, you will know what remains. That's how bad the currency is. And you are still going and tell people that you want to do what is it called? 30% minimum wage. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. What this year labor team, what they're supposed to have asked for government to do was to improve our economy. That's what they're supposed to do. Because even if government pay a particular worker 100,000 naira minimum wage, that money will finish on vegetable in the market that keep increasing every day. You can testify to this, that what you bought last week is not the same amount you bought this week. You can testify to that. So what is minimum wage going to do for the Nigerians that are lesser than the entire population that are not working for government? Now, Zamfara State Governor over the weekend said that he has asked workers, civil service, to start engaging in other trade. And I'm asking the governor, how many convoy do you have? Those people follow you every day. Those, your SSA, what are their jobs? What are their jobs? If all the money you give SSA that are redundant, that are not doing anything, you carry it and give it to a farmer who farm, and your work is just to ensure that there is peace and security in that environment, that person can employ more than people that you have employed in government house.
Well, let me tell you, but I'm sure you know, government is the only thriving business now in Nigeria. Most businesses are in crisis, including my own business. And I tell you clearly, most governors will have up to 300 to 400 SSAs. Those SSAs will have their own 2 or 3 per person. So that's how it trickles down. That's their own understanding of how to create employment. They don't understand the economics of wealth, the economics of wealth creation. That is the tragedy.
All right, gentlemen, what is the way forward? Because the reality for today's Nigerian worker is that they are being owed months, salaries not paid. That's the reality of Nigerian workers and the hardship they are facing. And on top of that, their morale has been seriously dampened.
Oh, yes.
You know, so
Oh, yes.
what is the way forward? Because when you're asking an average Nigerian worker who perhaps is being owed 5-8 months salary to go to government and start demanding for a total welfare package, that looks a bit bogus. I know it is what we should be asking for, but with the reality on ground, hunger is a reality of today in Nigeria.
Okay.
What is the way forward for that worker?
The way forward is this: 2 ways, clearly. And I tell you what, the average Nigerian worker is not a saint. Don't just deceive yourself to think that they are saints. They are not. If you go to the civil service, if you go to the ministries, you will be embarrassed, you will be disappointed. Go there by 9 a.m. They haven't started work. I had the opportunity, you know, of working with a minister as I say. By 9 o'clock, civil servants are not on their desks. Whereas the rule says 7:30, be on your desk. You know, so the average Nigerian worker also has to have attitudinal change to not take their job, their career very seriously. But that's no justification for the poor wages and all. But I'm just saying it's 2 ways. You must do your own bit, and government must do their own bit. Now, part of the way forward is that we must begin to think of other sources. What government is thinking about now is skill acquisition. You must no longer depend on just one source of income. You can have an additional, you know, legal source of income. A teacher who teaches somewhere, in those days, some of my uncles were principals in their various secondary schools that they were. And large, I'm not talking about secondary schools in Lagos where there's no land space and all that, but in Delta, in Edo, in, you know, rivers and all that. So there's massive land space in the school. Some of them do part-time farming to earn an income. Some of them have other skills, you know, to eke in a living, to eke out a living. So we must not, because government has now proven not to be not to be relied on, because over time they've not responded to your needs. So you must have additional source of income. You must be creative, because if you continue to moan and then continue to depend on May Day rallies, sadly the years will roll by. 35 years you must go. So, but in conclusion, my pattern short is that we also must stop all these very primitive way of behaving, in the sense that a governor pays salary, a statutory responsibility, and they start, you know, singing his praises. Silly. A governor has just paid 3 months salary, you know, backlog. You are praising him as the best governor. Excuse me? It's like your father giving you, providing food for you, or paying your school fees. You start thanking him, Papa, you've done well. You are the best father that I've ever had. Excuse me? That's your responsibility.
All right, Peter, thank you for saying that. Again, my own solution to all of this is that government should take the workers' welfare seriously. It's not, when you begin to allow workers in your payroll to begin to have additional businesses, there's going to be a diversion.
In as much as your conflict of interest.
It was going to be. There's no way you cannot serve 2 masters the same way at the same time equally. It's not possible. I'm coming. I am coming.
By 3:30.
I'm coming.
So what are you doing between 3:30? You resume 9. 3:30 to 6 p.m. 7 p.m. What are you doing?
That's what I'm saying. If you are not well paid here, okay, and you have a thriving business, you may not even wait sometimes to that 3:30. In fact, if you have a paper to trade, you may waste time making call with your boys on the road to engage them, to know what they are doing, rather than doing the government work that you were employed to do. So what am I saying in essence is that government should take welfare of workers seriously. It's gone beyond minimum wage. I like what Lagos State government did over the weekend by giving some plot of land for workers to build on without collecting a naira from them. And I hope the hierarchy in the labor union will not also at that level hijack it.
Okay.